How many screens are you looking at? Like 3 or 4?
Three. Yeah. Three, and I don't think any. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong live stream. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage, and we're having a couple technical difficulties here. I don't normally stutter, but I'm so flustered right now. Stick with me. Give me about 30 seconds here to find the right stream. There it is. I see it now. We've got some people in here. There's the correct chat stream, and we are streaming. So, without further ado, we have got Felicia and Aaron here, better known as the team behind 4DRRCKT. If you guys have not seen these awesome videos on Instagram of this orange CTSV out there just pulling the tires every which way and that, it is quite the sight to see. And they're actually natives of Oklahoma, much like me, and race a lot down at my old home track of Noble Raceway south of Oklahoma City, the one that's the worst track on the face of the planet to race in the afternoons because you're driving straight on into the sun, staring at it. And so I know that we had a lot of people that were excited to get in here and talk to you guys. But first and foremost, I mean, tell me, there's been so much going on recently with the 4DRRCKT. Specifically, I know that you guys have done a supercharger upgrade recently. But give me the basis of what you're running right now.
Yeah, so first off, thanks for having us. My name is Felicia. For everybody who doesn't know, this is my husband, Aaron. And we have the 4DRRCKT. Everything that you see, if you do already follow, we do all of that in the garage. So we also have full-time jobs, but we absolutely love to race. So Rocket is a 427 from Thompson. They're out of Texas. Then we have been running the stock 1.9 blower for this entire time until a couple months ago. We did put the 2650 on it.
What was your fastest time on the 1.9?
It went 892. Yep, 892 at 152 down in Florida. That was blower only. That at the time put us one of 4 in the world to do that on that blower alone. Wow. So that was super cool. And I think we're probably the only person to have done that full weight. Don't quote me on that, but she's still a heavy girl.
Yeah, so, I can believe that. There's probably not a lot of people that are still running. Are you guys still full interior on it?
It is full interior right now.
Yeah,
yep,
that's
it is.
Crazy.
We were 4250 weight when we did that 892. It's probably close to 4550 right now with full weight.
Awesome. So, upgrade from the 1.9. You've got a 427 from Thompson on there, which I'm sure is just on top of it. Heads cam?
Absolutely. F310 from Frankenstein and Cam Motion custom cam that they made for me.
Sweet. Yeah, those Frankenstein heads are beautiful. What exhaust system are you running on it?
So stainless works, and then I've just got it straight piped back right now. Aaron's not necessarily a fan of the loud and rowdy, but I can't get over it. So
I love it because of the meme floating around recently about the chop on that thing is so great. And I've talked to people that haven't heard of you guys before, but had seen the chop meme at least. And I'm like, yeah, they're getting kind of famous just on how rowdy that thing is. It's hard to beat an LS with a good chop. So
it's
awesome.
A lot of fun when a Cadillac goes by and you just kind of see people looking for the noise, and they're like, it's not that car. It's not that one.
Tyler, the car behind her is the 4DRRCKT. What year is your CTSV?
It is a 2009.
2009, and was that the second gen? I'm not up on CTSVs. I'm a little bit behind the
It is. So the V1s that they call them, those were all manual sedans. The V2 is your first option to go automatic and 2-door, 4-door, or wagon. And then now there's V3s, and then there is also the new CT5D Blackwings that are out.
Or the
CT4.
The black.
Or the CT4.
Is the Blackwing running the supercharger, or is it running the hot V turbo setup? Do you know?
So both. The 5 has the blower, and the 4 is a single turbo or twin turbo?
Twin.
It's a twin.
Yeah. Those are the ones that's in between the heads. The hot V, Aaron, do you remember?
I believe so.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so transmission-wise, and I believe you guys have probably smoked a couple transmissions, maybe some rear ends on this thing in the past, if I remember right. So where are you at on the transmission, rear end, all that fun stuff?
So we decided that it was a good idea to learn how to build the 6L90 ourselves. we tried to do the pay for it and have a different shop build it, and we ran into issues. And so we were like, you know what? Let's tear it apart. Like, I'm literally videoing, like a mom videoing her son's first birthday as Aaron's pulling everything
That's
out.
what you gotta do.
So we don't miss anything. Like, we were nervous. And Circle D Transmission in Houston has been absolutely amazing. I mean, I think I talked to them one night at like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, is this supposed to look like this? So it's been a learning curve, but ever since we've been doing it ourselves, knock on wood, everything has been great. This transmission has held 1,200 horsepower and spraying through shifts, and I don't have a bad thing to say about it.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. And on the rear end, you still running the stock rear axle on that thing? Just upgraded internals, axles?
No, so actually the diff is stock, the axles are stock, and the rear suspension is all stock.
Really?
We did blow up our first diff February of this year.
I thought I remember you guys seeing a pumpkin eating it.
That was rough. We got so lucky though. We were at a fairly large Cadillac event, and a gentleman came up and he was like, "Look, I live an hour away, and I've got one in my garage." And so, thank goodness for him. Aaron and a couple of our friends actually pulled the rear end that I destroyed out while I drove and followed this gentleman to his house and back to the track, and we threw it back in, and the car drove itself onto the trailer. So even though we didn't get to compete, I feel like we still got very lucky with that.
So
Yeah.
what broke that rear end that day?
Well, I spun and I wheel hopped a little bit, and then maybe 30 mile per hour when I was a little ways out, the car decided that it wanted to wheelie again, and that was not good. That it double wheelied, and it was really bad, and I don't recommend that for a heavy car.
That's awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, Rick Crawford's your guys' tuner on the Cadillac, right?
He is. So, like Aaron was saying earlier, he's really taken to tuning. And so he does a lot of the small adjustments, which is so nice because we
It's
race
handy.
so much and we split so many hairs with this car that DA and humidity and everything makes such a big difference. So it's so nice that Rick is absolutely amazing and that he will actually like walk us through something if we need help. And Aaron understands all of it, thank goodness. And we've been able to make it work.
That's awesome. And you've also, in spite of going up to the 2650, you're spraying now. You're another Nitrous Express sponsored ride out there. And so, you know, I'm more on the snow performance side of things because I put water and methanol injection on everything. Though I'm a huge Nitrous fan also, but, you know, I can't go anywhere without putting water and methanol on there. What kind of nitrous setup you got running on it now?
So with the 1.9, we had actually done 2 different nitrous setups. Well, 3, I guess, technically. We did a wet shot, we've done a dry shot, and then we did, we sprayed through the bars and we sprayed through a shark nozzle. So any sort of nitrous setup that you could try, we tried with that setup. And that's how we actually ran 8s at first, was spraying on the 1.9. We clicked an 8 off, and then with another year or so of tuning and fine dialing it in, we got the 8 blower only. But currently, we actually plan to rebuild our setup. So we pulled everything out when we did the 1.9. That little computer board that Aaron actually built himself, we built back in 2019. And it sat underneath the hood, which it gets very hot, obviously. And so I'm going to say I'm shocked that it lasted as long as it did. There were no issues. Even when we pulled it, there were absolutely no issues. If you wanted that nitrous on, it was coming on and everything worked every time.
That's
which
awesome.
was so cool, especially the first time, building something like that and wiring it. But anyways, we pulled all of that out. We're actually going to build another board. We're going to put it in the rear of the car in the trunk where the other computers are over on the driver's side. And then we're going to run the wires up so that it'll look a lot cleaner. But it is a Max 5 kit, and we spray up to a 300 shot is what we're on.
Wow.
We're not spraying 300, not yet,
But
at
we're
least.
working on up to a 300.
I'm with you. At this point, I'm nitrous addicted. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it feels different. We sprayed on the 1.9 before we pulled it off. No, it's fairly cold outside. That's our fastest 8th mile pass. The car went 561. And I will never forget the way that it felt. And so I am chasing faster than that at this point.
Well, that was basically, besides the standalone, the only mod that I did on the XLR is I did the full install on it, and I ran it as a dry shot and ran the control through the Holly, but had the full Nitrous Express remote bottle opener, heater, all the stuff on there that was basically you just hit a switch, it opened up, prime everything, you're ready to rock and roll. And I'll tell you one thing, those things, they're deceptively quick, even the naturally aspirated XLRs, because of the dual overhead cam on those, but you couldn't control the dual overhead cam with the Holly, and it just made it an absolute dog. It was terrible. And so I was shooting Nitrous basically every time I had a straightaway more than 10 foot. It's like, you know what, let's throw at least 75 at it, and then having it as a progressive setup through the Holly, it was just on the screen. You could bump it up and say, okay, let's go up to the full shot of 150 or whatever. And it gets very addictive, to the point where I went out and bought a mother bottle just because I needed more nitrous around in case I needed to fill up nitrous. So, and those guys down in Wichita Falls are just the absolute best to work with. They've been around longer than any of my sponsors, and anything I call about, they're just Johnny on the spot, and so great to work with, and take great feedback. Talk to them about, specifically because I put the water methanol set on the Z06 whenever I still had it with the LT4, and the clocking on where the nozzle went into the throttle body plate was kind of cattywampus because it was designed for the LT1 versus the LT4, which has the sideways mounted intake throttle body like the blower cars do, and so it would either get into the blower itself or it would get into the pulley side, and so they ended up redesigning that and coming out with the new LT4 plate. I was like, you guys got to fix this, but man, they've been great. Love those guys.
I agree. And you can't see it, but we have a mother bottle sitting behind the computer over there. So.
Perfect. So what is the plans with the XLR? Are we still planning on doing some stuff with it?
Yes.
Yeah, the goal for the XLR is it's going to be a small tire, no prep car. There's not really many of them modified for the reason of, one, you couldn't tune them factory, right? For any of those interested in keeping the factory drivetrain. Two, the only people that own them typically are your grandparents, and they drive them to church or to the golf course. And
that's why ours was Project Country Club.
Yeah.
So the goal is to turn it into a small tire, no prep car, so that it is different. Anytime you go out to any of those events, it's Mustangs or you might see some Catfish Camaros or
Fox bodies.
Any of the older Ford stuff. So this one is just definitely something to be different. And since it's based off of like a C5, C6 platform, there's a lot of aftermarket goods that can be used for it. So the market is there. It's just you don't have the people wanting to do it. So
right.
It's definitely going to be a cool project. I'm super excited for it. It's funny that you were spraying yours because I told Felicia if we didn't have anybody interested in the stock drivetrain out of it, that we were going to spray nitrous until it blew up.
Oh, yeah.
Burn it down. It's not worth any money. Trust me, I've already looked into that. They're the 4.6 guys that are asking. They're the more bulletproof 4.6. They're good generally on up to 150 shot before they start having issues. But yeah, they're not. They're boat anchors. Nobody wants them anymore. And they're the late generation ones that were in the XLRs were just too damn complicated anyways, with all the dual overhead cam variable timing and stuff like that. And so you guys just going LS in it then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll be LS twin turbo, like a small tire chassis.
It'll be the complete opposite of the V. So the V has AC, power steering, full interior. We're trying to make all of the power, but still keep it completely street. Versus, we plan for this to be like a sketchy shitbox that goes really fast.
Yeah, the main goal of what she just said is really fast, not the sketchy box part.
Well,
exactly.
I mean, it comes with the territory.
Exactly. That's awesome. I tell you what, and I loved mine. I'll be honest with you, other than the drivetrain stuff on there, because the 5L50 is such a weird transmission on top of everything else, and those things are just, I think they give 4L60s a good name as far as how weak they are. And so it's just, outside of that, there's so much great stuff going on there because I think they just look better than a Corvette personally. They're just one of the best looking cars on the road.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm so addicted to that car.
I mean, it's straight out of, you know, the sci-fi movie that was the car that they would use to make it look like it was 25 or 30 years in the future because it looks so angular and weird and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It was really impressive because this one's an '04 as well. And the amenities that it has are unheard of for its time. Like it had, what is it, the cruise control?
I mean, it has adaptive cruise control, heated and cooled seats. Like, it's wild.
It's got the top that comes down, designed by Mercedes and everything else, you know, like it was a really cool car for its time.
That top has like 36 different motions it does to lower itself, which is I mean, they're an absolute nightmare if they don't work, but whenever they do work, it is like watching a ballet in process because there's so much happening as those tops go down.
Yeah.
So I got some questions on here. Specifically, one of them was, how fast were you guys spinning your 1.9?
Ooh, like RPM wise, like
what pulley did you run on?
So we ran a 238.10 on the 1.9, and we were spinning it 30,000 RPM, right? 30,000 RPM. So way faster than I would recommend, but if you're ready to deal with the maintenance, it'll go fast.
So what combination lower and upper was that on?
238.10.
238.10. Okay. So that's pretty impressive. What do you got going on with the 2650 then right now? And how much boost were you making on this one?
On the 1.9, we probably made 18 maybe.
Yeah, 19.
I'd say 18 on a good day.
I was going to say 19 on a nice cold day where you can actually get some.
Yeah, we probably average 17 or 18. You know, Oklahoma is hotter than can be, but we're on a 3.0.10 on the 2650 right now, and we've seen 21 from it.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of volume step up on that. Well, I guess you are going from a 1.9 to a 2.6 and a half. So,
right.
It's, you know, your volume there is definitely there. So,
well, the biggest difference is probably how it carries. You know, the best we ever got out of the 1.9 was the 152, and that was on like a beautiful Florida day when it's like 50 outside.
She's talking about 152 miles an hour.
Yeah, mile per hour. And the 2650 went 154 mile per hour here. And it was 90 degrees, 95 degrees, like something like that.
3200 DA in Tulsa.
Right. Yeah.
So it definitely does it a lot easier than the 1.9 did.
Oh, I bet at the point that you guys were running the 1.9, it was probably starting to fall off on airflow anyways on the top side, right? Where are you going up to? Are you running 6,500, 7,000 RPMs on that?
Usually around 7 grand, 71, 72 if we were pushing it. Rick wanted us to put a 112 on it, which is what's on this, and try to see if we could get it to carry out a little bit more.
Right.
But after talking with Boost District, we just decided to go ahead and put the 2650 on it.
Yeah, awesome. They're on my crap list, by the way. I'm still mad at Boost District for not getting my LSA blower out for the GTO. I called them up last week and I said, hey, what's going on with my LSA blower set up for my GTO? And they go, when did you buy that? And I go, about 6 weeks ago. And they go, well, it's on a 5 to 6 week ship time. And I go, yeah, it's been 6 weeks. And they go, it'll be 2 more weeks then. I'm like, that's it?
So is that like they have them in stock and it's just a little bit behind?
I have no clue. Honestly, I've been so busy, I really didn't care that much. I just was wondering because it had been a month and a half and I hadn't heard anything. It's like, you guys going to send me a blower eventually? I've got other stuff I need to work on over here, but if it shows up, I'll stop all that and just focus on this for a couple days. You know, I'm very bad about doing that, and that's why I got to quit buying cars. So, what do we got here? Let's see. Where are you in the garage when it's 100 degrees outside today? Is it 100 degrees there today?
It's pretty warm.
It's sweating. He's shorts. He's fine. It is pretty warm. We could have done it inside, but I mean, it's a lot.
You got to shut the car off, right? Yeah, exactly.
It's 92. It's not that bad.
Exactly. It's not that bad. It got up. It's pretty warm today. I think it hit 82 up here, and you know, everybody's having heat strokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it cracks me up. So, what's next? I mean, what's the future plans? What events do you have coming up besides Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0, which we're going to hang out at? I'm excited.
Yes.
Yep.
Got some other cool people that are going to be there. LT, Lawrence Tolman's going to be showing up in the ugly truck. I don't know if you guys watch any of his stuff. He used to be on trucks on Motor, or not Motor Trend, the other channel. I can't remember. Chat will remind me.
They'll let you know in just a second.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to be coming out with his big ugly truck that's got the big turbocharged big block, and I'm trying to think of some other people. I know Mr. Rabbit's going to be out again. He just won in his won the 9-second True Street class in his Camaro, and he's bringing out a Grand National. Power Nation, thank you, Power Block, all that fun stuff. So yeah, what's next on your guys' list of mods, list of events, etc.?
So, if you haven't been following, it has been a crazy busy 6 months. We have been to Florida twice. We've been to Vegas. We've been to Texas twice. We have raced 2 Dragon Drives already this year,
Wow.
and we've got a 3rd one scheduled. And we do have full-time jobs. So, our next 6 weeks actually isn't too crazy. We really want to get the parachute finished that we started, but then we had to go to Vegas, so we didn't get it finished. We want to get it done. We want to rewire the nitrous up. We need to get it done. And then I really want to get out to the track, dial it in, and run an 8 before we touch the blower. So the blower right now is not ported. Literally anybody could buy it off the shelf just like it is, put the same pulley combo on it, and do exactly what we're doing. And so I just kind of
you got 427. Let's be honest, though.
Well, you do have to have some cubic inches.
Right.
There is that. I don't know actually how it would go on a 376. I don't know if it would be as happy.
Well, at some point you're gonna lose efficiency with it.
Yeah.
It'll make a bunch of boost, but it's not gonna push the car a lot faster. So
Right.
You're
we'll
going to
actually
lose
find out.
efficiency, and then shortly after that, you're probably going to start losing rods.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So we actually have a CTSV friend that has a wagon that has a stock bottom end, and he's putting the 2650 on it. So
Oh, is Chris's bottom end stock?
I believe it is.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna find out.
So we're gonna find out how far it goes.
Yeah.
But so I really want to run an 8 without touching the blower, without doing anything that somebody else couldn't do, because Rick does port for us. He hand ports. He's absolutely amazing. So that is coming up. Hopefully, knock on wood, we will see an 8 soon, and then I'm gonna tear it back down so we can port that and hopefully go even faster. Goal for the year is 850s. That's really what I want to do, hopefully. And of course, Rocky Mountain Race Week. We've got some other stuff planned that we can't talk about yet, but as soon as I can talk about it, I'll let you know.
Definitely.
And so we're going to prepare for that. So you'll kind of see some hints coming up on the page of us changing some stuff rear-wise to the car to kind of practice for it. And yeah, it's been extremely busy. Now we kind of need to dial back, do some of that maintenance that we've been putting off, some of those track fixes that you're like,
Right.
I'll fix it correctly when I get home, and then you never go home. So that's kind of what we've got planned for the next 6 weeks. Hopefully some fast passes, some different kind of testing, and I'll be able to post some more numbers. I know everybody is dying for dyno numbers on this
Right.
setup, for torque numbers, so on and so forth. So I feel like we've just been going anywhere and everywhere. We have won or placed in every event that we've done since we put the 2650 on, which is so cool. But I'm ready to dial it back and try to do some personal best with it and get the parachute done, because I can't wait to pull it.
Are you running a Stroud chute on that?
It is not. It's a white safety.
Oh, how dare you abandon the Oklahoma company of Stroud?
I know.
I won't
how
tell them.
rude.
I won't tell them. Well, man, that all sounds. What's that?
She's very excited to pull the chute. She got a custom design on it. I won't say what it is, but
Oh, I
she's
can't wait to see it.
she's very excited for that very first picture of the chute back there.
I bet. Yeah, I need to find my chute for the Nova, which I did not need the first time I took it out last year. Whenever we took the Nova out, it had maybe 5 miles of road time on it, and loaded it up to a trailer, took it to Colorado, or Kansas for Rocky Mountain Race Week, and the thing ran like crap. It got down into the 11s and bent a valve, and we still made it all the way out to Pueblo and ran it the second day. and it just had so many issues that I've learned my lesson now that if you can't drive that thing for, an hour and a half straight, don't put it on the trailer for a driveway. It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. Yeah, I came back, had 3 broken lifters, had a bent valve. It was all kinds of nastiness. And so this time at 2.0, we're expecting to need the chute. So I'm anxious to get that hooked back up, and because I've not got to pull the chute on it either. So, but listen, we are to the point where we're going to wrap up. So I want you guys to go ahead. Let's get a shout out to all of your sponsors out there. Make sure that they're getting the love.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so everybody should spray. So talk to Nitrous Express. Thompson Motorsports is where my 427 is from. Boost District is the 2650. Frankenstein is the heads. Circle D Transmission, Circle D Specialties, Dynamic Drivelines, my one piece that's been hanging in there. Red Horse Performance is where all my fittings are from. DSP Performance and Central Speed Supply, which is here local in Oklahoma, are both my parts vendors, along with CT Performance, who's not local, but that man will do anything and everything for anyone. He's amazing. His daughter started racing and she's doing wonderful. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Am I missing anybody? Radium. I feel like I just said a whole lot in a real short amount of time.
The 4-star wheels.
Oh yeah, the 4-star wheels. And this is not necessarily sponsors. This is everybody that has just been so amazing to us,
Right.
because you're going to come across companies where, and I'm just going to say this, you're going to come across companies where you're a number, and you're going to come across companies where you're a family member. And so those are kind of the people that that I remember and I go back to, and I don't care if it's $20 more or $30 more, because those people actually care and they'll be there when something goes wrong.
Bingo. And those are the big ones. You foster those relationships and you find out who you can rely on. And as I said, even if you're spending money, you at least know that you're spending money somewhere where, hey, they value the money that you're spending on the products. And that's the big thing, because a lot of people, as you said, you're just a number. It's a cash grab for them, and they're not going to give you the support. Things go wrong, they're going to leave you hanging, all that fun stuff. So listen, guys, I so much appreciate you taking the time. I'm glad we finally got to get you on here. Hopefully, we'll do this again whenever we have some time, and we'll for sure hang out at 2.0 and get some video there, and maybe try and get a live show one night and bring some people in and just tell everybody hi. So once again, huge shout out. Felicia and Aaron out in Oklahoma City with the 4-door rocket, everybody's favorite CTSV. If you haven't seen it, jump over to the Instagram, 4-door rocket. I will type it in the chat so you know what to search for. Most of you, if you are not following, you've at least seen this car. It is everywhere. It is hard to miss. It is bright orange, and it is the Chop Master. So thanks again, guys. Thanks everybody else on the live stream tonight. You guys know the drills. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Remember, ABT, always be tuning.